Mick, Gio, look, there's no point sugarcoating this, guys. This could be my last race at Ferrari, and, well, you know, let's face it, fellas, if I go, you guys aren't at Ferrari anymore either, are you? So, let's just get out there, let's get the best result that we can, and then, you know, fingers crossed it's enough. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and possibly for the final time, welcome to Forza Ferrari. We have the Belgian Grand Prix today, the last race before the summer break, and that summer break is where we could get sacked. So board confidence is still low, race performances though have definitely picked up, and how crucial, I was just thinking this a moment ago, Montreal, where both of our cars got taken out and got damaged, and we ended up right at the back, and you know, how crucial could that have been? Another satisfied there, and you wonder if maybe, you know, we could, if board confidence wasn't already medium or, you know, below whatever's above low, maybe, you know, then if we do well here today, another disappointed drops off, as Neil was pointing out in the comments, and then maybe, excuse me, with only 3 disappointed there, things could be different. But it's all if, buts, and maybes, and we just need to get the best result we can today and then hope that that's enough. That's all we can really do at this point. Now, there's nothing new on the cars because it's only been a week since the last race where we were first and 7th, I think, wasn't it? No, 2nd and 4th, 3rd. Anyway, we did okay, and it's a sprint weekend, so let's not waste any time like I'm currently doing. Let's get into this. Now we want to go to race and 2 performance target Spa. It's one of my favorite tracks. One of the reasons for that is it always usually falls on or around my birthday, so that's good. But yeah, just generally speaking, it's usually a good race, isn't it? So red is sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3 when it comes to qualifying. We can see there's the 2 traction zones at the start and end of the lap. Otherwise, it is just nice and fast and flowing, and really a thing of beauty. Top speed, acceleration, and high speed are the favorite things, and we saw in Silverstone that right now is what suits our car. So let's hope that we can yeah, we can get a good result here. Now, safety car is a halves your pit stop time. It knocks 8 seconds off of it, 16 seconds for a normal pit stop, which is very quick anyway. A 1 stop is looking the way to go, although we've seen typically in this game, the extra stop, especially if it's only 16 seconds, might well be worth it to get the fresher tyres on. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we'll wait and see exactly. There's not a huge difference between a soft and a medium. The soft and the hard is 0.8 of a second a lap. Now, it is a long lap here as well. So, yeah, we'll have to bear that in mind. Alonso won here last year, which is, yeah, of course, the last time we've been here in game. So that is that's interesting. And what are we expected to do? Qualifying position 2 in the top 4. They don't expect much, do they? So we'll reach Q2, Q3. That is all good. Fastest lap. We've got a few fastest laps this year. Finishing position as someone in the top 4. We'll try, if we don't do that, we're getting sacked anyway. So we need a finishing streak of 1 car in the top 6. We should be able to do that. Qualifying 1 car in the top 6 this one. And we'll get a little bit of bonus for that as well. So fingers crossed. Sprint weekend. Let's go. So we are expecting a dry weekend, which makes things a little bit easier for me, that's for sure. I'm going to do free practice 1, that's all I get. Then we'll be back for qualifying. Alright, so free practice is done. Now, don't worry too much about where we are standing here, because I can tell you that we had extremely odd engine parts. I think Giovinazzi's ERS was 1% life or something. It was essentially dead. So 16th and 17th it was. Now, it looks as though Williams may have bought an upgrade, because they were 2nd and 6th. Now, I've actually done Q1 already. By mistake, because I forgot to hit record. And Q1 is, we can't see that. I can tell you that we both got through Q1, but that Ricciardo was fastest. So we'll go and do Q2 now, and car setups could be better, couldn't they? I've actually made Mick's worse, which is annoying, because he had a better setup than that. So there we go. Anyway, let's go do Q2. Alright, so here we go on board with Giovinazzi. Now, as ever, we did the first run on older tyres. So we've got fresh ones on for this one. Giovinazzi 7th, Mick is 8th. But again, Ricciardo up there in 4th, and Albon no doubt will be quicker. You'd imagine Russell will be as well, with Hamilton right up the top there. And where's Verstappen? Oh no, Verstappen's third. For a second, I thought he'd been knocked out. So we've gone green with Giovinazzi through the first sector. We are 9th and 10th. So we are going to need to go fast. You can see that Albon, the Williams has definitely bought an upgrade, which is troublesome. Not necessarily for the Constructors' Championship, but it might actually be a good thing if they can get in between sort of... is this car going to hold us up here? Oh, I think we've just about got away with that. Because, you know, they might take points off Mercedes and Aston Martin and allow us to catch them a bit quicker. But we just need to keep our job for this one And if they're going to be up there potentially beating us, then that's not good. Giovinazzi goes 4th. Mick about to come across the line. Can Mick put himself a little bit higher up? Mick goes 6th. We are into Q3. So both cars ahead of Verstappen, which may or may not be interesting. But yeah, we'll see how we go here coming into Q3. Both Williams got through, so an Aston Martin has missed out, hasn't it? Yeah, Stroll has missed out. So that is that. Let's go see where we're going to start this sprint race from. Alright, so here we go. Now we are on board with Giovinazzi. We are 2nd and 5th after the first run on used tyres. I think there might have been a few people on used tyres because some of these lap times, particularly the Williams, I don't think are representative. Now, I'm slightly concerned we're a little bit close to Perez that's in front of us, but Perez has been the fastest car on track. Now, if we've been able to get a nice little draft down the first part of the lap, he's going to drive away from us in this part of the lap anyway. So Giovinazzi may have actually positioned himself almost perfectly, but he has gone yellow in the first sector, so never mind, that hasn't quite worked out for him. Alonso goes 2nd, dropping Mick down to 3rd. And let's see what we've done with Giovinazzi here. 2nd sector. No. So Giovinazzi's unlikely to go fast up. Mick, on the other hand, though, is flying. He's gone green, green. And could he get back ahead of Alonso? Alonso's only a little smidge ahead of him as Russell goes ahead of us. So Giovinazzi stays 6th. Not a good lap for him. And Schumacher's gone 2nd. I was trying to click on a thing and it went down. But he's 2nd. Now, where is Max Verstappen? Is he going to go fast up? Could potentially take us off the front row. He does not. So, Ricciardo, could he do anything? Is he on a fast lap? Looks like he is. We can't see split times, I don't think, unfortunately. If we go like this, can we? So he's not going any faster either. So Mick is on the front row for the sprint. Very, very nicely done indeed. And, yeah, well, let's see what we can do here. Giovinazzi again, just not quite got in the pace. He went slower in Q3 than he did in Q. It wouldn't have made any difference anyway. So anyway, sprint, let's go. All right, here we go for the sprint then. Now we have both cars on soft tyres. It looks like most cars have gone with a soft. It should make the finish relatively comfortably. We'll jump on board. We can see Mick in front there. Mick is not first into the first corner, but that's okay. We are using our ERS as well. We can just keep an eye on Mick up there. And yeah, we're pushing the tyres a little bit to start here, but we will very quickly sort of look good to go back into a more conservative position. The one thing I didn't want to do is lose places early on here, and we've seen that we've been guilty of that in the past in these sprint races. So really, I mean, there are some points available here, but the most important thing I think is just to make sure that we get to the end cleanly. We don't want to be any further. We don't want to be starting at sort of too far back from where we started the sprint, where we qualified. So it looks as though Mick is losing the back of Perez. Now I don't know if we have DRS this particular lap, if we have to wait a lap. No, it is enabled this lap. So that makes it difficult then for Perez to now pull away from us. Do we have DRS here? We do. So that's good. That's good news. Giovinazzi right up the back of Verstappen. Not able to get anything done. So I will keep you updated on how this is going. It's only 15 laps. Long laps, of course, but still only 15 laps. And yeah, we'll hopefully, as I say, just hold position. I'd be absolutely fine with that. Oh, we've got a virtual safety car now.
Virtual safety car.
I don't think it's either of our boys. They both look fine, no damage. So Leclerc has crashed. So that's fine.
Debris on the main straight.
This will give our tyres a chance to cool down, and we'll be able to hopefully.
He's okay, no problem.
Go after them a little bit more then. But yeah. Alright, now we currently have Giovinazzi all over the back of Max. Now what we really do need here is for him to drop out of the DRS with the cars in front. But we're in sort of a little bit of a DRS train. We're going to try and deploy. This is the lap we're going to try and get him. You can see our tyres here are just overheating a little bit as well. Can we get it done? It's very risky through there, but not too bad. Now, no, DRS, it just isn't quite working, is it? We're going to have to just back off the tyres a little bit. Yeah, let's go back. We're quicker. We are definitely quicker. We just are having trouble sort of getting the move done. Now, It looks as though Perez is gone. Mick did a pretty good job hanging with him for a couple of laps there, but once we couldn't use the battery anymore, then he dropped away. Now it looks like we've got George Russell right behind us. Now Russell is on a medium tyre, I think. Yeah, Russell and Alonso on medium. So we've got to be a little bit careful of them. They are going to be they're going to be strong, aren't they, later on as well? So our tyres will get there. I'm trying to measure what's all looking for. I can't think of the word now, but anyway, I'm keeping an eye on it, and yeah, we'll try and get them there. So far, so good. Mick, I'm actually, he's going to crash now, I say this, but I kind of trust him at this point just to get it done for us. And Giovinazzi, he's just dropped back a little bit with top up, so yeah, lap 9 of 15. We'll see if we can move anybody forward from here again. Alright, and Alonso is struggling on his medium tyres, and we are going to get a move done here. We should get DRS, he should not. And that is Giovinazzi up to 5th as Mick drops back to 3rd. So, 1 up, 1 down. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Mick back ahead here. You know what, mate, actually, if you do just want to maybe sit here for a minute, recharge everything up, and we'll go again. Just got to be a little bit careful of Verstappen behind us here, though. Oh, no!
Okay, pushing.
Oh, Mick out! Oh, George Russell, I think, has taken him out. It's a red flag, and he is out, and he's going to start from the back.
Right, let's follow the action now at turn
Russell's 7. Run wide, has just come straight back into his car.
Fairly substantial crash there. All it can take is one mistake.
You can't make this up. Unbelievable. Oh, so we start again. We put on a fresh set of socks, though, like not a used fresh set of socks, that makes sense, for Giovinazzi. He can now just go balls out, try and get to the end. You might as well deploy the whole way. It's the last lap of the race. It's a bit silly to actually have a restart in hindsight, but how does Schumacher get a time penalty for that? He came across in front of him. That is ridiculous. So he's gonna start last, I take it. There'll be a 3-place grid drop. I mean, Giovinazzi might actually win the thing here. Maybe he's our great shining hope. But again, we've cost ourselves points. You know, I just said that we could have just stayed in. I would have just stayed in 3rd. Oh, I mean, it's going to take the drive of his life for Mick to get anything more than a couple of points. Giovinazzi, just don't do anything stupid here, please. Just bring home 2nd. So there we go. That close to winning the sprint.
Okay, that's a checkered flag.
But that is a disaster. So 7 points for Giovinazzi. I mean, if we'd been sort of even 3rd and 5th where we were, we get 10 points as opposed to 7. I can't believe it. So he does get a 3-place grid drop. He was last anyway, so it doesn't make a difference, does it? But now what's he damaged here? The chassis and the front wing. We do have those, so that's fine. We can replace them. It doesn't look like his actual engine or anything took too much damage, so that's good. What do we do strategy-wise here, though? So, soft, medium. Given that we're at the front, it makes sense for Giovinazzi, I think, to be a little bit more conservative, and then if we get a safety car or something, we can bring him in. That is fine. Now, what I'm wondering is with Mick, what do we do with Mick? Do we do the same thing? Do we do like a medium to soft, though, so that at the end, at least Mick has the quicker tyre on and can maybe get some overtakes done? I think that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? You know what we're going to do with Mick? It's only a 16-second time loss. We're just going to push, get overtakes done, and yeah, see if he can bring his way back through. So change of plan there. So potentially for the final time, at least we do have a Ferrari on the front row. Medium tyres for a lot of the front runners there, it looks like. So that's maybe a slight surprise, would we think? So yeah, we'll see what we get. Now, Mick will be able to push pretty much the whole race. Giovinazzi will push him at the start. Again, if we can just try and stay with the Red Bull and potentially break the DRS behind us, then that would be a very nice thing indeed. But the Red Bull is quite quick, isn't it? So that could be a problem. Mick is still last, which is he needs to be moving up a little bit quicker. He needs to get overtakes done for his extra stop as well. And yeah, there's probably just about 50-50, slightly more people on the medium, I would say. But we are almost outside of DRS already as Perez looks to sprint off into the distance. And yeah. Well, the thing is, if Giovinazzi can get on the podium, then maybe that goes some way towards saving our job. But it's going to be... I really do think we needed a double podium, and I think we were showing that there was a chance of that in that sprint race. But obviously, any chance of that is now gone. It would take just a crazy race, well-timed safety cars and whatnot for Mick to be able to do anything here, and he's kind of stuck in the pack anyway. We've got a yellow flag. I think I just saw somebody fly off in front of Mick there, actually. It's Guanyu Zhou. So, are we going to be able to stay within DRS here of Perez? We are very, very marginal. We're bringing back in now with a slipstream. So maybe we will. Looks like we will. So that's good news, obviously. We're going to have to back off these tyres shortly, and we're going to run out of ERS as well. But yeah, DRS is now active. Let's see if we can use that to stay with the Red Bull. And Mick is P18, so Mick watch P18. All right, we have a virtual safety car. That is, we just passed. So Stroll is out. I'm wondering, it saves us 8 seconds. Is this a good place for Mick to come in?
Is everybody okay?
And potentially put on that medium tyre early, or even go to a hard tyre. I think it probably is worth our while doing that. Let me have a think. So yeah, if we come in and put a hard tyre on now, we can still do that extra. We can still do this. So I think we're going to do that with Mick. And now I'm wondering, do we do the same thing with Giovinazzi? I was toying. You can see it. We used a little bit more tyre than we were going to anyway. So I wonder if this works on both cars. Get a cheap stop. We can push that hard tyre much harder. And then, yeah, see if that works for Gio as well. So that's what we'll do. And where is Giovinazzi on the track? He is fine, so he can come in this lap as well. So that's going to hopefully work out okay for us. Let's see, though, when things play out. This is, of course, very much reliant on us getting good pit service. All right. Please be good. Please be good. 1, 2, go. 2.8. It's world record pace. Can we do it again with Mick? Off, on, go. 3 point. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So Giovinazzi comes out 10th with fresh tyres. I am liking that, I have to say. And Mick comes out 18th, but again, he can push those tyres now as pretty much as hard as he wants. And this is, of course, doing us wonders in terms of paying back the petrol that we owe as well. So this is looking. We'll see how this strategy plays out, but we've got a very cheap stop compared to what everybody else is going to get. And particularly anybody that started on a soft, I think jumping onto a hard now might not be the worst idea. Alright, so we are back racing. If Giovinazzi can make pretty good work here of these guys in front, then again, that'll go a long way towards being able to make this strategy really work for him. Now, I think there's DRS, because it's just a virtual safety car, so there should be DRS. There is a risk of this becoming a DRS train, of course, but we'll keep deploying him throughout and see what that does. And Mick, let's deploy him as well. He's a little bit further back now, obviously. But this is going to start paying us back a little bit, a few laps' time, when the soft tyre runners will need to come in anyway. But again, when you make the extra stop, you've got to get overtakes done. So let's hope that the guys can get that for us. As Norris seemingly struggling on a soft tyre, as Mick gets past Charles Leclerc for the second time today and finds himself behind Bottas again. But there is a lot going on. It's difficult to keep track of. But I'm cautiously optimistic that we've done the right thing coming into the pits there. Alright, now I'm filling with hope. This is working out nicely because Mick is flying. He's already up to 13th. Giovinazzi, we're sort of been stuck here a little bit, but what we've been doing is charging up the battery. We've got Gasly and Albon in front. Now, Albon is the slow car. Now, I'm hoping that we'll be able to now go and get both of them. That's what I've sort of been lining up here. Mick's done fastest lap as well on a hard tyre. And yeah, it's just the risk of this becoming a DRS train. That's a good move on Albon. And can we now go and get Gasly as well? The Albon move should be completed. There we go. And if we can go and get Gasly, then we can go and close down the gap. But we are definitely within, if everyone else has to make a green flag pit stop, then we are definitely within the, we're going to come out with Giovinazzi in the lead. Not 100%, where's Mick in terms of the lead? 21 seconds back, so he's going to be 4 or 5 seconds off the lead. And everybody else is going to be nursing their tyres to the end, assuming they're on a one stop, which you would imagine they would be, or they would have stopped by now. And we're going to be able to go basically full beans to the end. So, that virtual safety car, and I don't want to say it's genius. That's for other people to decide. But I'm hopeful that fitting onto this hard tyre here and being able to push it essentially as hard as we want, I'm cautiously optimistic that is going to, if not be a job-saving move, then perhaps a race-saving one. Oh, we've got another virtual safety car. Mick is up to 10th. Giovinazzi is... so this is going to potentially... Bottas has crashed. This is going to potentially ruin our grand strategy here. But we've still made a nice little bonus. We're 6th and 10th. But yeah, I imagine a lot of people are going to bail for the pits here. Well, Hamilton's going to come in for sure. Whether these medium tyre runners, what it might do is push them into a two-stop after we've got a lot of benefit from from us being on that two-stop strategy. So we'll see. Giovinazzi 17 seconds off the lead, so this will hurt him in terms of he would have been out in front if it was green flag stops, but he'll still benefit massively. We've done very well here. But let's see if anybody does come in. Let's see Perez. Is he going to jump into the pit lane here? This will be a big clue as what everybody else is going to do. No, he does not. Well, surely people are going to take it. So Verstappen is, so they're favouring Verstappen, aren't they? Alonso is staying out. So there's a bit of a split going on here as to what everybody's going to do. And now Verstappen's had a pit stop issue. Is that going to let Mick? Mick is ahead of... Is he ahead of Verstappen and Hamilton? No, not quite. What tyres have they come out on? Onto hard for Verstappen. So he's trying to get to the end. Hamilton is not, I would suggest from that. Alright, and the race has gone green. It was very quick. And so that's now meant that nobody else can actually come in. We've got another yellow flag now. It's, again, neither of our cars. We're not even halfway through this one. It's been very, very hectic. Alright, now Mick has just run wide and got some minor underfloor damage. So that's not ideal.
There's been a crash.
There's a crash involving multiple cars.
Looks like quite a big...
Let's see what this is. It is... That's further back, isn't it? So that is behind us. So no real foul on that one for us. Alright, so this is a big moment. Perez has stopped. Alonso has stopped. So I think we're seeing perhaps the one-stoppers coming in 24 laps done of 44. And they will probably have to go to a hard tyre. If they go to a soft tyre now, so they're stopping again. There's no way a soft tyre is going to go, or is it going to go 20 laps? Maybe it will, but again, they're going to be absolutely knackered by the time they get to the end. So we are currently 2nd and 8th, and Mick is catching back up to this group again. So that's a really good sign. The damage is there, but it's not too substantial. So happy days on that front, but he does, of course, still need to make a stop, which Verstappen doesn't. But still, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. Alright, so Giovinazzi is now right behind George Russell for the lead. He is still on his original medium tyres. We're entering our pit window. We just need to get this move done. He is going to start holding us up, and we cannot afford that. Alonso has got past Mick. Alonso is absolutely flying, but there is no way those soft tyres of his are going to the end. He's going to stop again as well. Perez, though, is sort of matching the lap times of Giovinazzi right now. Come on, Gio, get this done. Can he do it around the outside? Not quite there. So, yeah, so I think Perez probably is going to the end. Giovinazzi, who's this? Try again. Alonso is almost certainly not. He can't, surely. His tyres are already at 78%, so there's just no way he's going to the end. Now, is George Russell going to stop this lap? Possibly he is. Yes, there he goes. So, we go to the front. We have a stop to make. We have a 5-second lead over... Yeah, 5-second lead over Perez. And we are coming up towards our pit stop. I think I might keep Giovinazzi going on the deploy and try and build as much of a gap as we can. Mick, on the other hand, is... so Russell's come out in front of him. We probably do want to deploy now, don't we? Deploy now and try and make sure that we're coming out as far up as we can. And then we'll deal with empty batteries and whatnot once you're on a soft tyre, and we can perhaps potentially sit behind people and charge up if necessary. We'll use up as much petrol as we can. I don't want to be carrying around any extra. We underfueled by 2 laps, and they're long laps as well. So 15 laps to go. If we have a good stop, and that's always the problem, isn't it? But if we have a good stop, we're going to come out about 10 seconds behind Perez with about 10, 12 laps to go. So if we're a second a lap faster, can get overtakes done, Giovinazzi could yet still win this Belgian Grand Prix. You can see he's matching his lap times, albeit we are deploying now as well. But that's a soft tyre of Perez to a hard tyre of us, and we're going to be able to push this hard tyre at the end as well. Alright, so here we go, Mick coming in. Let's hope we get another good Ferrari stop here. Please, boys, come on. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So we're going to come out in 12th with Mick. Let's see how far he can get himself back. You suspect Norris is doable, but there's then a 12-second gap to Russell, which might be a bit more of an ask. And, I mean, Perez has started to take chunks of time out of Giovinazzi, so it's probably a good thing we're coming in this lap. Now, is Perez... No, he still looks like he's trying to get those tyres to the end, doesn't he? Alright, come on. Let's get one more good stop out of you, please, Ferrari. This would be the nightmare if this is the bad one. Oh, it's 2.8. It's good. It's good. Alright. We are in 6th. How far are we off the lead? If that's the group in front, they're ours. They're breakfast. We're going to do them no problem. We are currently 13 seconds off the lead of this race. Let's see what Giovinazzi can do. So it did not take long to catch the back of them, and we can't now have Verstappen on his old hard tyres ahead of us. This should be fairly straightforward. Then in front of him, it looks like Alonso. Now, after that, we've got some quicker cars in the Mercedes that have been stopping a little bit later. But yeah, Verstappen, that was never really going to work. Now, Alonso's hard tyres, soft tyres, sorry, he was absolutely belting them at the start. And I suspect that they are not going to... Oh, Verstappen's tried to put a move back on us there. But this should be fairly comfortable. 10 laps to go. Mick's done the fastest lap of the race. Excellent. We were pushing for that, so we'll hopefully get back into the points. We should do. And take that bonus point as well. And Giovinazzi now. 3 seconds he's got to catch Russell, who's right up the back of Hamilton. Let's see if he can do it. Alright, so we have Giovinazzi right up behind Hamilton. This is for the podium, which is the absolute minimum that we can get away with and hope to keep the job. Russell is quite quick. He's obviously burning through his tyres to be that quick, but we've been doing a similar thing here with Giovinazzi as Schumacher gets past Albon. So that's him up almost into the points. One more place to go here. And yeah, we probably need to stop deploying with you though. And can we get past Denny Rick? We definitely do have pace, but yeah, I think the best Mick's going to get is, although Verstappen is quite slow, Verstappen's doing 44s. You can see we're doing 42s with Giovinazzi. Mick this lap is a 45. See, Mick is just getting held up by this train, and it is becoming a little bit of a problem, if I'm honest, but there's not a great deal we can do about it. Yeah, you know, we can't. Let's try deploying through this bit of a twisty section. Oh, Mick's sending it in, and what's happened there? What has happened there?
It's a fairly heavy accident.
Verstappen has crashed. So that's going to move us up another position. Is it going to be a safety car? It doesn't look like it is. So, where has Verstappen crashed? Is he out, or has he just... I mean, if he... There's a safety car, and it's Mick. What has happened there? He's been hit from behind. Almost certainly.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, you've been hit from behind, I suspect, mate.
Virtual safety car deployed.
Let's have a look. Or has he dropped it?
And it was Mick Schumacher involved.
Has he been hit, or has he dropped it? Oh no, he's been hit by the Williams, hasn't he? Surely.
And they'll have to pick themselves up after that.
Is that going to be the difference between us getting sacked or not?
The team.
That is unbelievable if it is. So he's out, I'm assuming, yeah. Yeah, Verstappen has come in the pits. So we would have been looking at 6th, which would have been fairly decent points for us as well. Alright, so the virtual safety car has ended. We've somehow managed to get Hamilton right behind us in that. I'm not quite sure how. There hasn't been a penalty for the Williams, so I don't know if maybe Mick did just drop it by himself or not. But yeah, that is just... we definitely would have had Gasly up. We just would have caught them. We had caught them, and surely it would have been a relatively simple case anyway of passing them. So 3 laps to go. Can we get George Russell for second? That is the big question now, isn't it? He is 2.5 seconds up the road. We're deploying. We're just, again, going full send because we've got to get there, and then we'll worry about trying to pass him once we get there. Yeah, I mean, Perez's tyres up front aren't great, but we'll see. I don't think in 3 laps that's going to be possible. Yes, as I said, they're long laps, but if we can get Russell for second and hopefully claim mitigating circumstances on Schumacher, who was technically at fault for his crash in the sprint race, but he would have been... this would have been, you know, if take crashes out of it, this would have been a double podium for us, wouldn't it? Could we have beaten Perez? Possibly not, to be fair. He's been very quick. As we get fastest lap there with Giovinazzi, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I think we would have been second and third at a minimum here. We would have started probably second and, 4th or 5th from the race after the sprint. And I think we've seen again here that we have the second fastest car on the grid now. And for whatever reason, we just, between Montreal and here, and it's just never been able to fully get perhaps the best out of it. But we're about to come around and start the last lap. We are out of battery, so that is obviously not ideal. And I don't think we're quite going to be able to get into DRS for that back straight, that is our chance, isn't it? We're 0.2 of a second out. If we send it in here, we get to 0.1. Oh, 0.2. It's half a second, not the greatest exit. We'll deploy out of here, use up what we've got, try and get to George Russell. It doesn't look like it's going to happen though, does it? We've just not quite been able to pull off the 2-stop in the way that I would have perhaps liked it to work. I mean, it definitely worked for me. Mick had come from the back and he would have finished 6th. What a race that would have been for him. We've got what have we got here? Guan Yu Zhou has spun. That's of little consequence to us, of course. And yeah, another lap. I think we might have had Mr. Russell here. But it's a little bit the case of our season, isn't it? I honestly feel like, now whether I get sacked or not here, I feel the same. I just feel like we've had quite a bit of bad luck. Yeah, another lap, we would have had him for sure. So Perez wins, Russell second, it's Giovinazzi third. Is that going to be enough, though? So there we go, fastest lap, third in the Grand Prix, gives us 16 points. Obviously, it's a blank for Mick. So Mick on 100 points, Giovinazzi on 89. And if we go and have a look at the constructors, again, I mean, we've outscored Aston Martin. We would have outscored Mercedes. We may have even outscored Red Bull if Mick... I'd love to know. I mean, the fact there was no penalty given makes me think maybe Mick did just drop it. All right, so here we go. Below target. There's nothing there. That board confidence low. Does that mean we're gone? Or does that mean it's not none? I think we've kept our job. I think we've kept our job. Oh, we've kept our job. Well, we've got to the end of the season at least. And I think, I'm really happy with that. Because I genuinely think that by the end of this season, we may need to be second in the constructors to keep our job again. Who knows? But I do think we can run down Aston Martin. I think we'll get very close to Mercedes. I think we're the second best car. We just need to have a little bit of luck. We need to make sure that we're sort of maximising results. And we're second best right now. The issue I'm going to have is do we keep developing this year's car to try and keep our job, or do we have to start looking towards next season? Are we going to end up in this whole circle again? So, yeah, that'll be for me to. If you have any suggestions on the best way to do that, what we could maybe do is sort of maybe split it split the engineering team in two, have half of it working on this year's, half of it on next year's. Is probably the best thing to do from here. But we've kept our job, so that's excellent news. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. We will be back for after the summer break. It'll be the Netherlands at Zandvoort. That is a track that possibly won't suit our car, but we'll give it a good shake anyway. Take care.